Welcome to Washed Up Podcast. You ain't what you used to be, but you in position to be who you destined to be. To get close and personal, thank you for blessing us with your time. To be tuned in to our time, so we can be a constant beat in your mind. Washed Up.
What's good? What's good? Welcome to Washed Up Podcast. We're in the building. Got my boy Queasy in the building. Yes, sir. My boy Cheese.
Yes, sir. What it do?
Back in the building, man. Yes, sir, brother. Brother Chief had something, a few topics to pull out the hat for us today, man. I'm going to go ahead and let you roll them on out for us, brother. What you got for us?
Glad to be back up in the building, but I want to throw out, what I want to throw out is pose the question, is it possible to be faithful to one woman, but to be attracted to other women? Is it possible?
I'm going to say yes. I believe as human beings, being attracted to other humans is natural. I guess the key is about the action or controlling yourself by having willpower, by not pursuing your attraction. Like, you can have a emotion about something, but you don't have to react to that emotion. You know what I'm saying? You can just see that emotion, see for what it is, acknowledge it, respect it, and keep it there. But if you become weak, whether like in anything dealing with your emotions, if you become weak and allow your emotions to control you, which being attracted to someone can cause you that's an emotional state, then therefore I say then you in trouble if you don't have any type of willpower or strength within yourself to maintain your morality.
Q, how you feel about that, bro?
Yeah, I agree with T too. I think you can. I think it's actually more human like than you think. You know what I mean? It kind of sounds like I'm regurgitating what T's saying, but I think it's perfectly normal. But you just have to avoid putting yourself in situations where you act on it. You know,
boundaries.
If like you can know it, like you could be attracted to another human being, but the more you engage with the person and the more you allow yourself to allow that feeling to come out, then it's going to be chances that you go a little further. But I do believe, people have enough restraint to say, you know what, I'm in a commitment. Even though I find this person attractive, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm gonna just leave, okay, it's a beautiful person. If I wasn't probably in a situation or a relationship or a marriage or whatever, then it'd be something maybe you would explore. But I think it's perfectly normal because, like we say, we are humans, and there are other good people, you know what I'm saying, that can catch your eye. I won't say catch your eye, but that you notice that they're a good person and that they probably a good woman or whatever, or vice versa for women. It could be a good man, but you know that you have to steer away from them. Like, you know what, when people say, you trouble. Like when I hear somebody say that, or heard somebody say that, I always think like I understand what they're saying because they're like, I can't be around your energy because it ain't good for me. You know what I'm saying? It makes me like
I can't.
Temptation, basically. It's like a temptation.
Yeah.
It's like a temptation. So
it's like
the less you tempt yourself with that, then you won't find yourself in that situation.
So let me ask you this then. Can you control your attraction? Can you choose to be attracted or not to be attracted to someone else?
I don't think you have no fight in that game. Those are like, what goes up must come down. It's like natural reactions in life. I believe there's so many things that can come together while you attracted to a person. There's layers of beauty, there's layers of trauma, there's layers of generational past. And when I say those things, what happened is that you can be spiritually drawn to each other because of trauma, or generational past. We kind of been going the direction the wrong way with the relationship when we get into those situations that I'm trying to figure out how I want to go with it. But when you get into a relationship, I heard someone say, if the person you with is not irritating your demons, right, they not the one for you. And I was kind of crazy because, it's like a lot of times it's kind of confusion. A lot of times people, we want to go and look for the person that we got this perfect ideal, this peace that you want. You know what I'm saying? You don't want no complications. You don't want to grow from nothing. You don't want to learn from nothing, right? And then when you hear a statement about that the right person is the one that stir up your demons, those are the person that is really gonna give you a self-class. It's gonna be a mirror reflection of what you need to do individually to grow. And they're gonna show you a mirror reflection. So it's natural for them, a person like that, to stir up your demons. I think a lot of times, and I think that's what relationships are for. But when you get into the relationship and you're not looking for someone to stir up your demons, you're not as attracted to them. That's just, majority of the time, that's the flat out truth. And we'll go through life saying, dang, you know what? It was a good girl, or it was a good guy and I passed him up because he ain't stir up your demons. It wasn't nothing that really was pulling y'all, that was pulling you. It's like he was doing everything you want, or she was doing everything you want, and you just overlooking it because it's not stirring up anything. And when I say stirring, let's flat out say it, that person can't help you get to the level or stage that you need to get to while you're here. I end it though.
So when I started thinking of this question, I'm like, what is it like when you talk about being attracted to somebody? Like, what is it really talking about, that word attraction or attractive? And when you look at it, I think the attraction is I think one of you said it, it's an emotion. The attraction is an emotion. And as men, I think if you don't learn to control your emotions, that's usually gonna be to your demise. In so many scenarios, even down got nothing to do with women, men who can't control their emotions are usually the first ones to get up out of here, either dead or jail. In this sense though, I think we can choose to be attracted to something only from the aspect that oftentimes the attraction speaks towards something that's alluring or pulling you. It's like a gravitational pull between you and that thing that could be attracting to you. And I know, like, when we on our spiritual journey between like us and God, we find ourselves like reaching to God and asking him to change our desires. Like the stuff that you used to want, you don't want to do that no more. And you can't really do that on your own. That's a relational transaction that make you sharper in that area. So if you drawing closer to one person, is it possible that something is happening in your mind over time that maybe what would have been attractive to you 5-10 years ago, there's no spark there. Like the jumper cable's dead. You can hit them together all you want, but if that other battery ain't no juice in there, ain't nothing happening. And I think that's something worth striving for. So like, I get what you're saying, that it's a human nature. I just don't think it have to end there. You know what I'm saying?
I can stand with that.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. From both sides, it's a good point. Me personally, I feel like, yeah, you do have a choice, but I think when it comes to attraction, it's something that's uncontrollable. If I'm gonna say, and I'm just saying from the, let's just say, physical aspect of it. the physical aspect, maybe things that you like, the surface stuff, long hair, brown skin, certain things that you know, like that you like in a person. Some kind of way, you may not even know this person. You may not even been around this person 2-3 hours, but it's something about them that keep making you not necessarily lust after them, but just like wonder, like just kind of like, oh man, this person make you want to say something or have a conversation. Maybe don't have no intent behind it, but something is drawing you to interact with this person. And can you control that? Sometimes I think it's uncontrollable. Now, like you said, it don't have to stop there, but as long as you don't, try to enter that world, I think it's perfectly normal. Like, man, boy, I had a good conversation with this other human today. You know what I mean? It don't mean you asked for the phone number. You didn't try to get into their life or nothing like that, but it was something that made you want to interact with them.
Good.
And just, I think that
feeling good that of being genuine with somebody. I mean, how I look at it, it just feel good being genuine. Like it's like I don't really want nothing from you. Let's just say if a person give a person a compliment, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really trying to get your number or nothing. Especially you in a situation. But you feel comfortable or not trying to be in this old robot shell and worrying about this and worrying about that. People be wanting to be blessed. People need compliments and this, that, and the third. It feel good to be recognized, I say. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't mean to cut you off, but I just, think of it as it just feel good just being instead of doing, I'm gonna do this because this might happen or this they might think this.
That's the walking with the blinders. That's people walking with blinders. Yeah. Like you got the people who like, I only got eyes for my husband. You hear people say that. And you like, yeah, because you walking like this. You walking like this, like, I can't see nobody, ain't nobody around me. I'm taking. That's like anytime somebody say something to you, you think they're trying to holler at you. Because you don't know what a genuine interaction is.
Nobody wants you.
You don't know. You think like, man, I just wanted to make sure you was having a good day. Like, I tell you, you left your door cracked open, something. You know what I'm saying? It's just people try to walk and not be human. You trying to control. Oh, well, no, I don't do that now. I got a man. I don't do that. I got a woman. Like, it's all right. Like, it's okay to interact with another human. You don't have to. You don't have to walk around like T say the robot world. Like you don't see nobody else but the person that's in front of you. Like, yeah, that sounds good. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't real life. Like, it's billions of humans on the earth, and you'll be crazy to think that it's just one person who catch your. I ain't gonna say interest, but who just, appeals to you. So if you're in a situation, you're in a relationship, whatever, then, it just reminds you that you human, bro. Like, all right, I got something good at home. I don't want this woman, you know what I'm saying? But it was nice to have a conversation and interact with somebody without it having to be what it normally is. So yeah, I think you can control.
What you talking about, I would not consider that to be an attraction because you said the key. I don't want it. I don't want this. I think, at least for me, the way I interpret the term attractive, it's like you see something that you actually want. Because you can say something look nice, but if you don't want it, there's no real attraction. You just acknowledging that the sun is beautiful today, or this person has a figure that looks like they're well taken care of. That's different from saying, I'm attracted to this person. When you saying you don't want it, that's not really an attraction, because you don't want it.
Nah, I get what you're saying.
I think you just know better. You just know better.
Yeah.
I know I can walk in a parking lot, a car park. I can walk in a car dealership and be like, man, I really, really want that truck. Like, I like that. I can say I like that truck, but I know I ain't finna pay no $1,000 a month for it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you can see something, and you be like, man, I can like it, visually like it, whatever it is, but I also don't want it though. You know what I'm saying? So I think you can have both feelings, because emotions are temporary anyway. So like you can't base it off of how you feeling at the time. Like, yeah, I see that. Oh, no. I think that's somebody telling themselves like, okay, if I don't want it, then I ain't attracted to it. Like, no, that ain't necessarily the case. Like, it's just you don't want to indulge, but you can be attracted to it still. I think.
Off of what you saying too, Q, I can let's throw it back to people. Say when you have a preference, right? I can see in my way back days, I can see a young lady, probably small, because I'm a big dude, I'm a tall dude. She about 4 something. I can be attracted to her, but I'm not gonna want it because she don't meet a certain standard or requirement that I want. You know what I'm saying? I can feel that there's attraction, but I also can place a wall there to be like, I'm not finna go past this boundary with this person because she don't actually meet my height requirement. But I do feel something there. But and I say this because you can be attracted, but also have, like we said before, you can have boundaries that will help you not cross that line. If you don't have any morals or boundaries, then again, you're moving wherever the emotion allow you to move. You have no control of yourself. You're only being controlled by your emotions, right? So I think it is a real thing it also is possible, like you said, that if you attracted to somebody, you want it and you feel like you got to have it. But to go to the next level and let's put it this way, as being men and being realistic, you have to accept that this is life. You are going to see the beauty in somebody else, but you also need to know how to be level-headed and manage yourself and not be able to be lured in because of that emotional magnet that you feeling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hands off. Yeah.
Hands off. That's all it really come down to.
You was talking earlier, Tia. You said everybody kind of deserve to feel blessed. Just somebody pay you a compliment or whatever. So how did you feel? Not to dig up something old, but I'm using this because it's a good example for the question. How did you feel or interpret when the whole thing with Aisha Curry was in the news and she made some kind of comment about she want dudes to pay attention to her the way she see females courtside and in public falling all over her husband?
Man, it's come full circle to what we always try to talk about on this platform, is that inner work that she needed to do is within herself. So you look for those pieces outside. It's rough that she see her husband getting all this acknowledgement and praise, and when she's there, she's just like a goalpost. No one see her. You know what I'm saying? And this is in her eyes, this is her vision. But in reality, people are like, girl, you gorgeous.
Yeah.
Girl, you beautiful. You may not know this is out of the respect of your husband that we not trying to do such and such. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's a double-edged sword because, okay, somebody look at the person that you with as a good dude, so they respect, so they not trying you like that. Now the thing is, if you had a toxic person that you was with, then you would be getting tried like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of how the universe works. So sometimes it's like, it's not green on how they say it?
Grass ain't always green on the other side.
It ain't always green on the other side. And a lot of times when you on the other side, you still trying to peep at the other side. You know what I'm saying? You still trying to peep. That's the yin yang of life. Until you really do the work within yourself, that you're not looking for that exterior validation.
And you said something, bro, with them 2 points about the grass being green on the other side, and that you ain't gonna really reap the benefits until you do the work. I heard a response, and the response says, the grass is greener where there's water, which translates to you got to do the work. It don't matter which side of the fence you on.
You gonna have to do the work.
Looking over here and the grass green over there, or where you over here and the grass look green over there, the grass gonna be green where it's getting watered at.
Yeah. All right, that's the work. You got to put that work into yourself. That real though. Yeah. How you feel about that, Q?
You can have something better now. I ain't gonna try to say that like what you got is the best that you could have did, or like I'm always saying, But I think it's with the Aisha Curry thing. I think, like you said, he gets so much attention that it's crazy to think that his wife would still want to feel like she's lusted after, or to feel like she want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a lot of women like that who they don't really want men, but they want men to want them, and vice versa. I think dudes like that same thing. Like, yeah, okay, I'm happily with somebody, but it feels good when somebody shoot at you. It feels good, it's like you smile a little bit, like, hey, yeah, I still got a little ego touch, But I think for her, she probably was going through an identity crisis, maybe, and you know what? I like people trying to holler at me, even if I don't want to holler at them. But I like the encounter. It make me feel like I'm still here, Because most girls look at her situation and say, "Girl, you made it. Like, you should be happy." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But she hearing "I love you, you beautiful" from the man who made that vow to be with her forever, and that still wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes to show you that humans. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, Q, I think the misconception is what they think value is. How they think being viewed valuable. I think that's what the misconception is with women. They like to look at, they see other girls getting dudes hollering at them. Say they go out and dudes stepping down and hollering at them and this, that, and the third. They don't know this dude thinking that, oh, she look like she gonna be a GOAT. But she thinking she winning because they're approaching her. But you can also feel the energy and sense the energy and look at this other one and be like, she gonna want to probably go on 20 dates and she gonna want to do whoop, whoop, whoop. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand from a man perspective that he doing that. And the women don't understand that you're more valuable if you not getting approached like that.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that. They don't understand that because a lot of times if you're not getting approached like that, a man feel like he's not in a position to do the approaching.
Right.
So a lot of times people as men, because how we're approaching people because we know, okay, I'm in a position to deal with whatever I'm trying to put into this situation. You know what I'm saying? This is how much I'm valuing this situation and I'm entering to it. Whether it's just, hey, what's up now? Hey, woo.
And what you gonna do, you enjoy when men are at you and you welcome and all that. What is you gonna do when you get an opportunity that you can't refuse? What you gonna do when the here, because of his money and his stature and all of that? But what you gonna do when the dude who paying him is at you? Are you in a position to stiff on that? But because of you welcoming that attention, at some point somebody gonna say something.
Somebody gonna
make your eyebrows raise up.
They don't think, a person don't think that far. That's what we say when we talk about ain't green on the other side. Is like you don't think that far because it's a lot that come with it.
Yeah.
It's a lot that come with it. So it's like the person can only be looking at, I just want to be recognized too. But they don't get that extra part that you just said that's going to come with it too. And you also could be attracted to the person that's coming to you.
Right. Now you got a problem.
Now you got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I learned is everybody ain't meant for high definition life. Everybody ain't meant for life under the microscope. So while you out there trying to be seen, wanting all the attention, you might just get more attention than what you was hoping for. And from what it looked like, it's very difficult to turn that light off. It might be easy for somebody in her position to get all the attention. But even when all that was going on, I think I saw one clip of her crying when all the backlash came out. Because, okay, you wanted the attention, well, here go the attention, but oh, by the way, you got to take all this that come with it.
Man, it's such a misconception of people think we make what they say, we make losing look fun. I heard somebody say that. We make losing look fun. We make let's think about it. Let's just say over here in America. Melanated people make losing look fun, supposedly. Melanated people make being broke look fun. Melanated people I heard something, man. They said they actually think that a melanated person tolerate pain more than a white person. So these are the misconceptions. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a caricature you have to hold.
Yeah.
There's integrity that you have to put in place. You know what I'm saying? And again, women getting bamboozled by who they think is valued, and people that been taught foolishness is getting a misconception on thinking that, man, look, I've heard just as well as you heard in this situation. I think that curved to the topic when a lot of people be saying when a melanated person dating a white person, a less melanated person or whatever, and they be like, well, what they say, well, she ain't combative, or this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
She ain't combative. And the reason why I say this, because it goes back into the caricature of the role play. A lot of times when we get with our loved ones, we feel like that's a gateway to release off on everyone. Not saying all, but some of them think that when the other ones get, let's just say, I can't even speak from that behalf though, but from the dating stage, this is what some of them will say, is that they playing a role more strong and more longer than this side will. So the person is not giving that much pushback.
I think that's a form of manipulation.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get
to be saying, well, these people, they can take it. They built different. They can withstand this kind of pain. Nah, I can't. I bleed just like the next man. I don't care what race he is. But when people trying to do something to you, they'll use that to justify and kind of take the heat off of themselves. Like, this ain't really gonna hurt them. Like, this ain't really they can handle it. They come from this kind of neighborhood. They had this kind of upbringing. They come from this kind of culture. They used to that, and they'll put that in their mind to kind of lighten the blow, to tell them that what they're doing ain't as bad because it ain't gonna really hurt you as much. That's manipulation, textbook. And I think in the reality, kind of to what you were saying earlier, oftentimes I think at least some people, they just need to be honest before you go getting in all these different relationships. Some people, they just don't have what it takes to be monogamous, like to be in a place where they dealing with just one person. I do want attention from Cheryl and Shelly and Tamika and Keisha. I do want attention, and if that's the case, lead with that. Say that. Don't tell Brittany that she the only one, and then the next day, you trying to figure, dang, I ain't heard from Keisha in a minute. Hey, you don't, what this is, you don't holler at your boy no more? Like, if that's what it is, you just need to say that and don't be fooling people, being manipulative. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, that's a slippery slope.
Say that.
Boy, that's a slippery slope.
That's a tough one
It's
right
like-
there. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Only if we really was mature to handle the truth.
Yeah.
As humans, but we so selfish, we so broken, it's hard.
But why you own that? Whose responsibility, where does the responsibility lie? For me to tell the truth or for you to accept the truth? Because for me, I'm only responsible to tell it. I'm not responsible to how it land on your doorstep.
That's real until it's somebody that you care about. It's a different stuff. Let's put it this way. Until you telling, let's say this, your kid.
Yeah.
Let's bring it home. Until you looking your child in the eye and you telling them, you have to decide, like, yeah, it's my responsibility to tell you the truth, but it's also my responsibility to have effective communication while I'm telling you. Like,
Is there any communication more effective than the truth in the long run?
yes, because you can tarnish or crush someone that looks up to you dearly and value your word. Like with observation and understanding, if you can maybe tell from experience what hurt them, what crushed them, what puts them in a shell, what triggered them, what makes them feel worthless or something. Say if you had that experience and you've been around a person like that. So you would know from engaging with them before, it's a way to tell someone something. I'm just gonna say, it's a way to tell someone something, but I'll say with providing facts, but not being completely.
So you're going to be truthful, but not tell them. You're going to be honest, but not tell them the whole, what you need to be saying.
This the key though. This is why, because my truth is my truth.
Yeah.
Right? That's the reality. From my tunnel, from my universe, my truth is my truth, and it really may not be the truth, but the way it process, the information come to me from my experience, what I seen, my resources, I believe this to be the stone truth, right? But still, it may not be the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I think us humans believe when we done experienced something 1,000 times, everything aligning up, this is what I seen, this worked for me, this is what I believe, that it's the 100% truth. And it's a chance it's not, right? So I think you have to look at it as that, especially when you expressing it to somebody else universe, is that may not be their truth. But it is sometimes the best thing you can do to give somebody a road they can walk on. You can't walk firm on how you handle your truth or how you came to a conclusion with your truth, But to get back to what we were saying, it's when you're approaching somebody and you're telling somebody things, you have to understand this is just the way I see it. But that don't mean, because a lot of times we can get prideful, we be prideful and think that that's 100% truth, and it's really not.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right about that. I think you have to be real careful on.
Did learn
But
that about 2-3 years ago.
No, I think we have to be careful on our truth and the way we express it to people, or what we think it is. Like you say, it's coming from a certain point of view. So it's coming from outside of the actual situation, which it can look however it's supposed to look to you. And you can put two and two together and say, man, this ain't right. You know what I mean? But the other person, 98% of the time, is not gonna listen to you. They really not gonna listen to you and be like, hey, I appreciate your opinion and your suggestion, but I'm finna go bump my head anyway. I got to go see. I got to go see you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it ain't meant for them. Yeah.
It ain't. Yeah, they just don't. They don't see it. Like, but you can imagine if every time that you about to come up to an obstacle or a bump in your life, somebody gave you a warning. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine that every time that it's about to be an obstacle or whatever, somebody say, hey, before you go around that corner, it's gonna be somebody right there. You know what I'm saying? So then you start getting used to, people start making decisions for you, and you start kind of taking into consideration before you do stuff. But that's good that you can have friends, or you can have somebody that care about you that say, you know what, I know you got to make this decision. I know you got a choice, but I'm just going to tell you how I feel. And the other person has to be okay with somebody expressing how they feel, whether they agree with it or not. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the more important part of being able to, hey, for one, you know, I appreciate what you're saying, and I don't agree, but I'm glad that you in a space where you care about me that much that you would tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? So people just still gonna, you know, make their own decision after that though. But if you hear a person give you the truth enough, I think you start kind of like thinking, like, if it's somebody you respect, definitely, you start looking at it like, dang, you know, they might be right, or let me look at this from a different point of view. Yeah, it's a slippery one.
Yeah. When you talking about truth as you see it versus something that factually happened, I think those are two different things.
I don't know. It's still a slippery slope. Let me give you an example, Chief, before you say, like, let's just say you and because we talked about this on another show we had. You say your brother and your sister, just say y'all was around us, y'all grew up in the same household. All three of y'all gonna have three totally different perspectives on how y'all grew up and how things went in that household.
Yeah.
So your truth, whatever you say how it went, that would be your truth. And however they say it went, that would be their truth. And however she say it went, that would be her truth. So when we say from what you just said, like the facts and this, that, though, that's how we got to understand on how we calculate, how we see things, everything that we experience, gathered together, accumulate that truth. Everything.
You sound like you finna run for office. You talking about alternative truths. Listen, I'm talking about like, look, I'm talking about like what we was talking about earlier. Like, these are a set of values or a set of desires that I want. I'm talking about being truthful with another party to at least tell them, hey, I want to be this way or I want to be that way. And we start talking about some people ain't ready for the truth or they can't handle it. So at this point, we're not debating whether or not this is kind of the truth or is it the lie or is it like all the truth. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about, hey, I got a set of facts or some information that I believe is true. And because I believe it's true, I'm going to offer it to you in all fairness to allow you to make whatever decision you need to make to determine whether we're going to do something, work something out, or with these facts, you make the decision you cannot be a part of this. At that point, we're not debating whether or not I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you a set of facts that I believe will help you make a determination as to whether this is something you can deal with or not. In that sense, I think the truth is absolute. The person who you giving that to, they're gonna take your truth at face value, and they're not gonna question that truth. They're just gonna say whether or not they can deal with it. And I think that's what we was talking about, is a slippery slope, because yeah, everybody ain't ready for that. But again, I pose the question, I'm only responsible for delivering it. It would be her responsibility to determine whether or not she can stay and deal with that. And most people, I think, which is where you was going, or I won't say most, a lot of people are not mature enough to deal with it.
I think, see,
I heard. But now I was gonna say, I heard you, brother. I just think that I see you standing on that, but I just think you see it. That's why I immediately went to the child situation. It's gonna be times you're gonna have to communicate a different way. And the reason why I say that, Q, I'm gonna let you go, because I always felt like, and it was selfish of me, I felt like whatever my truth was, I was telling you. I didn't care how you felt about it. You know what I'm saying?
Reckless.
And I learned that was toxic. You know what I'm saying?
You was reckless.
So it's like you grow and you understand that there's an effective way to say certain things with certain people. Certain people, I could just be regular T, but certain people say, if I'm talking to my child, I can't talk to my child in that way, saying in a specific situation. I gotta have a different dialogue with her in this matter, without being direct, with the person. That's all I was saying.
Yeah. No, that's real. You definitely gotta have some tact, and you gotta consider your audience for sure. I agree with that. Yeah. I agree with that.
I'm responsible because I feel, and this is the honest truth, if I'm dealing with somebody and I feel like it's something that I need to tell them, and I'm not telling them, my forehead sweating, my nose sweating, so it's something in me that's coming against me without being authentic. You know what I'm saying? So I knew this is why I had to move. As growing up, I knew I had to move this way, and it was a relief for me. I don't care what you did with it. You know what I'm saying? That was the part that I needed to do for me, and that's what I was doing. But again, there was something that needed to be developed within me for not being so nonchalant and cold, and understanding that I'm dealing with another human being that have feelings. You know what I'm saying? And that could diminish their path by the sword or word or curse that I place on them, because I believe that this to be my cold-heartedly truth. You know what I'm saying? So,
but I think what you just said, you explaining how you understand you can be honest, but you still need to deliver the message on a platter that's palatable for them to digest.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I mean, what good is it gonna do just to yell and scream the truth if the person not even listening to you because of how you deliver? Now you just saying stuff because the person ain't even hearing you anyway.
I'm telling the truth. I'm just speaking my mind. I'm trying to tell you. Whole time the person shut down. They shut down on you the whole time. They ain't gonna talk to you ever again.
They ain't gonna never tell you nothing, never again. I don't care. That's just who I am. That's me.
That's how me.
That's how you know what I'm saying? That's how you be, boy. That ego.
Swole up on them.
Swole up. That's me. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. Yeah, that ain't the way.
And you be boy, when you in it, boy, you in it.
For me,
you 10-toed.
In my house, you doing it like this.
That's funny.
Well, that's your truth. That's your truth. That ain't my truth.
Yeah.
But just of what you just said, it's intentions. It's like you can not intend to hurt somebody and hurt them anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you thinking for them. You trying to think for them, but or you like, you know what? I ain't really trying to. I'm just telling the truth. and you tell the truth, and it's like it trickled down, or it's a level. It's like blocks now. It's like, oh, I told the truth, and now all these blocks falling, and you like it end up not going the way that you thought it was gonna go. So it's like you got good intentions, but like even she, when you said earlier, I think you was kind of talking about like when you let's say you meet a woman or something, and you put out there those valuable things that you know what, if you want to be with me, these are the things that I just absolutely can't negotiate with. And instead of just playing the role, instead of just saying whatever the person likes, or you just giving them what you think they should have, you put it out there like this who I am, and if this is too much for you, then just let me know now. So if you don't think you can kind of confine into these boundaries, then let me know now, and then we ain't got to do this. But the thing is, most people are just so physical that the moment they see you, it's like, all right, I want you. So I'm going to tell you whatever I got to tell you to have you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
agree to anything.
Everything. Yeah, you can smoke cigarettes in the house. That's fine. Knowing that's like, you hate that.
Right.
To some other woman, you can say, hey, no smokers, no this, no that. I don't do that. I just don't want a woman who do that. And then you meet one and she do that. And you like, that's cool. Just open the door, open the slide door. You know what I'm saying? You start making excuses for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just people. We give people whatever we feel like in our head logically we supposed to give them. And it's based off of logic. Our logic be based off of all the craziest stuff. So it's like, we just be talking most of the time anyway.
Yeah. But in reality, bro, you know how much time, if we all had adopted that philosophy, bro, as young men, you know how much time you could have saved? How many idiots you could have avoided? You know what I mean?
You had to go through it though. You had to go through it. You had to go through it though. And I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, because it's a lot of instances where I was like, why did I do that? Or why was I even here? Yeah, or you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if I wouldn't have, it's like if I didn't go through it, maybe my restraint wouldn't be what it is now. You know, maybe I wouldn't notice certain things because I was locked in on certain interests. You know what I'm saying? And when you got certain interests that you see, you don't really think about the latter parts of it. You don't think that like this really ain't doing me no good, or this situation really ain't doing nothing for me, but I'm still entertaining it. I'm still doing it because I'm still getting what I want. You know, but
what? Hey, I say, mama was a Rolling Stone, her daddy was a Rolling Stone. Let's say those is granddaddy, grandma. Now listen, the only way to stop it, you have to be a Rolling Stone and stop it. You got to go through it. I know it sound crazy. It's like what I'm saying, and it didn't sound right how I said it though. But in order to stop that, you gonna have to go through it and put a stop to it.
No,
that's the truth.
You gotta experience it to know that it ain't what you
look.
You got to experience it.
It sound right. No. It sound right. It sound right. But Pete, if you talking about this Rolling Stone narrative, you talking about some junk you can recover from. So imagine somebody else Rolling Stone be some junk you might not recover from.
That's what
I ain't got to experience everything, every negative aspect of life that my predecessors done went through for me to learn the lesson. They say a wise man will learn from his own mistakes, but a genius will learn from the mistakes of others.
Yeah, so, how many geniuses are there? That's key. That's true. That's true.
Very true. It ain't a lot of them, but that don't mean you can't be one.
No, I feel you on that. But to the majority of the masses, I believe that they have to go through it in order to break it. And it related to what Q was saying, and it made me think of that. You have to experience it in order to stop it. Like
Our
you go
nature
ahead.
is to be hard-headed. Our nature is to go against. It's kind of like what you started this off talking about. It's difficult to get somebody to go on that ride with you if they ain't stirring up something on the inside of you. If they ain't getting them negative juices going, you ain't got nothing for them. You ain't giving them no real conversation. You ain't giving them no real chance. And that's our nature. The challenge for manhood though is to change our nature and not be so
Weak.
yeah. You said it. But
Weak.
yeah. That's
Man,
the challenge.
Real quick, because
Action.
this conversation, I've been there, action, getting ran through. I was saying, man, this conversation had me thinking, because this is what I tell my daughters, and I'm sitting here listening to myself talk, and I'm listening to y'all talk, and I tell my daughters too, I say, hey, when you run into a boy that you extremely attracted to, and he have not proven himself, and you just attracted to him just out the whim, you don't know nothing really about him, but it's a strong attraction, I say run away from him as fast as possible. And I'm sitting here thinking, because this is what I tell them. And the reason why I say that though, is because that person is dangerous to them. Think about what we all just was saying, because you will become a puppet to that person. Because if I, as a male, if you're so drawn to me, I have not proven myself to you. I can tell you, I'm a flat out. I'm gonna be, you talking about truth? Oh, you finna get the flat out truth. And you ain't moving, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Now he tell me the truth,
You ain't
girl.
going
He
nowhere.
tell me what he do.
Yeah. And now you taking credit for that.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't value you, because I don't care how you feel about it. See, this is the trickery thing about it. See, if you really being, and that's crazy to be saying this, baby, don't look at this video.
She gonna run.
Nah,
She gonna
but
run to
real
the
talk.
car.
You're right
Got a beaver.
said
You got a
nah,
beaver
but
gun.
man, to revert back. So I was thinking, I'm like, dang man. So it's like it's kind of hard. Like you're gonna have attraction, but you don't want to be dealing with those that you just overwhelmed with. There's a gravitation that they have not proven. They have not proven themselves. They not showed their worth to you, to see, like, to show you that you actually valuable to them. They did things, at least perform for you. And I say that word a while. At least they got to perform for you instead of just walking around. And because we done had plenty, you just walking around and they, oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying? And nah, you got to run from them.
So still got to learn by experience. Do that apply to baby girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Still got to.
They have to.
hey,
Still got to.
So
Hey, gotta get. Hey, it's tough. You gotta get smacked. You're gonna have to get smacked 1 or 2 times. This it's life, bro.
Pains. It's growing pains.
It's life.
And as parents, look, our parents tried to do it for us.
hey, so what you
sneaking
doing
and
to
smacking.
cope with that? What you doing to cope with that?
It's funny. My neighbor was telling me. My neighbor was picking on me about that yesterday. But honestly, I'm glad it's rough.
Yeah.
Flat out. But real talk, I understand this is their journey of life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm glad I'm in a better place, that the importance is whatever the ins and outs, I'm gonna be there to support. Not to be saying no political correct answer, but I'm just got to know I got to be there to support, because I know, like, you're gonna have to get smacked in the mouth. You got to go through life.
Yeah. No.
But the most important thing I can do is just still be supportive no matter what.
You being consistent, because the last time I was on and we talked about how young is too young. we kind of got into that same conversation, and that's pretty much what you said. You can't go to jail over it. You gotta, you gotta be there and either way. And support. Yeah, nah, it give you a headache. It give you a headache.
Woo.
But that's what came to mind when you were saying, you gotta hit your head. You gotta learn by experience.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the reality, man. You got to go through it. It ain't no avoiding it. Your journey is your journey. We try to protect them as much as possible. I think the most protection, go ahead.
That word is a trap.
Mm.
And I heard something very profound, and it particularly pertains to, in my experience, it particularly pertains to Black parents.
Mm.
Because of our history, we spend so much time trying to protect, far more than anybody else, and not enough time trying to prepare.
Mm.
So much time, bro. And I think if we can change our focus, boy, and get our brain to kind of deprogram, because we the only ones doing this. We the only ones having the conversation when you get pulled over. We the only ones, bro, speaking from a perspective of protection instead of preparedness.
Still getting whooped, getting mentally whooped, whiplash.
Lash.
Dang. Cause that's
Yeah.
profound. That is profound.
Yeah, man.
That is though.
We got work, man. We got work. We got work. We got work to do. We got work to do.
But with that being said, man, Washed Up Podcast, man, thank you for joining us.
Chill.
Man, with a heavy topic, man, we love and support. Thank you. We out.
Yeah.